Okay, starting screen is playing now. Welcome back, everybody, to the Index Podcast number 7. And today, I'm Choreo.
Hey, I'm Sweet.
I'm Blackjack's VR.
And that's Ron.
In this corner.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Ronzu. Ron's new to the podcast, obviously, if you guys haven't watched the past few weeks. He was supposed to be on the show last week, but he had a bunch of PC problems, so understandable. But that's why we have him back today. So it's good to see you. So how was everybody's week? You guys have a good week?
Busy. Lots of Unity and Blender work, and then also job interview I just had. So I think that went well. So excited.
Oh yeah, you're looking to get a new job?
Yeah. I want to go like 100% remote so that I can basically like take 2 hours, 3 hours or something to like stream or like play games or something.
Yeah, I feel like
it was so nice for that.
I feel like
Yeah,
once
plus you can live anywhere.
I feel like once someone like tastes what it's like to work from home, they like never want to go back
Yeah,
ever
never wanna
again.
go back.
It's like I'm
Oh.
staying at home and I'm never leaving. Like it's not just like people who are like lower down level. It's like VPs as well that like will work from
Yes.
home for the first time and like don't know what it's like to like be there and not have to go into the office or whatnot. But yeah, that's a really big part for me. You don't think like being home so long is gonna like gas you out from being not going out at all?
Where'd that fifth cup come from?
Well, I think, I do have Twitch. There's a couple things planned, like Twitch and like groceries. I don't know. I barely go out anyway, so like I'm happy. I think I'd be cool just being at home, you know. So.
Is there any
I mean, we'll
particular
see.
reason like that? Is that the only reason why you want to like get a new job? Is there anything like going at work that like freaks you?
Fudge. I've been there 8 years. I think it's time for like a change. And
So it's
also
true.
like
8 years? Holy.
I've been
What?
there 8 years, and all is correct. And I don't
Old
know.
is
I feel like
correct.
I've been in every department in the company, and it's just like I want to do something different. But at the same time, I want to experiment, like doing more for stream and seeing like how much I can support myself with stream, maybe. And like I don't know, I could see myself doing like part-time work, consulting work for software engineering, and then also doing Twitch and stuff. Because I just did my taxes. I did make some bank from
Oh
Twitch,
my
but
god. I
God.
I know.
Oh my.
It's really in like a week.
God.
How much you
Oh
owe
my-
Kuro?
Too much.
Tax evasion.
I actually already paid it, and yeah,
Oh.
it's bad. It's bad.
You owed?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk
Anything
about
back?
it. It's too much money.
Okay.
It's too much money. I already mentioned it before
Yeah.
last time, but it's a shitload of money. It's crazy. Like, people I feel like have like the misconception, and this is not just for like people who are like smaller in streaming. You have to pay so much money, not just in taxes, but to Twitch itself. Like on a $5 sub from viewers and whatnot, they spend $5. Twitch gets $2.50. Well, it depends on your partnership or like kind of deal you have with Twitch. And then you as like the streamer get $2.50. But then you have to pay 20%, 30%, depending on where you are, on that dollar or $2.50. So realistically, you're only taking home about like $1.75, $1.50. It's actually insane to think about how hard it is to make it as a streamer. And then so when someone like looks at like a sub count of like like 100 or whatever, it's realistically in the pocket of the streamer only about like $125, right? I think I realized that this year, 'cause it's my first year ever like full-time streaming, and I realized that might be a really big reason why people don't actually stick with full-time streaming, is because it costs so much to actually continue it and to be successful. It's not like necessarily because they don't want to do it, but that's just sub money. There are other ways of like how taxes affect regular donations, and there's write-offs and whatnot. Ron is obsessed with that freaking ERP banana, dude.
I see the
Wait,
balance.
that's the ERP banana, right?
Good. Wait, so you use this?
Being like nonstop. Yeah.
Was this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, you want to weigh on that?
Wait, do I use
How-
it?
how-
I don't use it.
How was your week, Ron? So this is your first time ever being like on like a podcast type show or like a show in general?
Yes, I'm talking. I don't talk. I'm scared.
Words.
Is the reason why you didn't come to the show last week because you were afraid and scared?
Yeah, I actually broke my
People
PC
shy.
on purpose.
Sure. Yeah.
Like fucking checked it. Oh, I can't make it.
Yeah. Oh man, darn it! Someone spilt water on my PC. Ah, man.
Wasn't
Next
me.
time.
Ron's an
maybe.
expert at building PCs, right? Remember you
Well,
showed me like.
breaking
I mean,
Sadly.
I've always
I don't-
see things wrong.
That's
I've always
a new
known you as
one.
like a really shy person. Right? I've always like understood that you're shy, but when you're like in a comfortable environment, you're not shy at all. Especially like as far as like your stream goes. Why do you think that is?
Because I'm freaking alone. I'm by myself talking to like myself.
Yeah,
But
just,
but
like,
you're
try to
on
work.
but you're on a camera. You're on a camera in front of a bunch of people.
The camera
hundreds of
means
people.
nothing. It's not.
And
a
you have
person.
people seeing you, people reacting to you, people answering stuff, asking questions.
Well, it's
Have you ever been
different.
at TwitchCon before, Ron? Have you ever like met people in like person, like from chat and stuff? I'm intrigued.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't. Go to
You
TwitchCon.
had-
I went.
you had
I
the
went to
brain.
TwitchCon, but
Oh
I
my
didn't went to
gosh.
TwitchCon.
Dude, where
You
am I
go,
right
you-
now?
I
Holy
met a lot of
2018, right?
people. I mean, I met
2018?
Stop
Lulu.
right now. Hold
I
on.
met my dance
Yeah.
crew. I met
Yeah.
Sweet.
That was fun.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah,
went
like
for,
you have to reiterate a
birthday,
million times you touch Sweet's feet. Like
And his butt.
every time I mention him ever, you're like, oh, I touched Sweet's feet.
Yeah.
How do you
No,
feel
it's so
about
fun. We gotta do it again.
like IRL meetups and whatnot? Like where so when it comes to meeting people in real life, like for instance, I don't know, like someone you've known for like a few months and they ask like, hey, let's go get something to eat. Like let's say you live close to someone. Does it really depend on the person that you're meeting in order to like make that happen?
Because it might be like a murderer. I'm 4 foot tall, so they can literally just grab me. You know, I'm scared of everyone. Let's be people I'm like super close to. That's just me though.
I feel like when it comes to meetups, it's always like really, really awkward. Like no matter like how comfortable you are with them online, like the second you meet up, it's like, hey, it's not that like you don't like the way they look or whatever, but it's always awkward at the beginning.
Man.
But then it kind of like weighs off later on and gets a little bit easier.
Yeah, I've like met like friends who like I know pretty well, and then like in person, it's like, oh, how do we act now?
Yeah, right. It's
But
like,
then,
like
then it normalizes, and then it's back to normal again.
yeah, I've done.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
Like driving up to the meetup in where's it? San Antonio? I forget.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember
Maybe it
like
was
the
in San
last 10
Antonio?
minutes of driving. Yeah, and then like I was sitting in my car
that's
for like a
right.
few minutes, like I was like breathing, exercise. It's like, holy fudge! And then when I
yeah,
walked
I
in, it
always
was
like
so
the
surreal.
anxiety sets in right when you're about to see them,
Yeah.
like
You
right
didn't
when it's about to
know.
happen.
He
Yeah.
just walked into like the Airbnb. He just
Oh
broke
my
in.
God.
Who the hell?
Hey
Wait,
guys,
what?
who are you?
I just walked in.
Confident.
Yeah.
You go to a meetup?
Who is that?
Oh my God!
And then-
Some guy
There's
just
like
went into
5
our
people there,
room.
So you're like mentally
Yeah.
trying to like match who might be who. And I was like, is that Ron?
The craziest
Like,
thing is people's voices. I feel like when you meet someone in real
Their
life,
voices.
their voice like has like an undertone of what they sounded like online, but it doesn't
Well,
sound
people sound
exactly
different
at
in
all.
person too.
Yeah,
Even just over
exactly.
the phone. Like
Oh yeah.
when Ron calls me, it sounds so weird. He sounds so weird. To like, I don't get it.
It's
Totally,
low
like, different.
quality mic, man.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I feel like so I did a meetup a while back with this girl that I was dating at the time. And I like to like I don't know, I'm a dick sometimes, right? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a dick.
You're what you eat.
So when I God, fuck you. So when I like met up with her, we met in New York City, and it was a game called Mabinogi. It was like a MMO back in the day. And the way we met up was like, all right, we're gonna meet up at this boba tea shop in New York City with like a bunch of our friends. And I knew that she was like really anxious and like really afraid, and like I was too. But I'm like one of those people when I'm like really afraid, I like to like kind of like joke to like make myself feel better and like make everything like a lot like more calm. So I like thought of an idea of like maybe I'm gonna tell her like that I missed my flight and I can't actually come after she actually gets to the boba tea place. But realistically, I was actually 5 minutes away from the boba tea place and I was about to walk in.
just
So
watching her like
yeah.
stand there,
So
bullshit.
she's like, "What? You
fucking
didn't make it?
weirdo.
Yeah, I can't come anymore. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it." And keep in mind, she booked like a 4-day hotel already at this time. We had a 4-day hotel in New York City, and I remember I was like telling her like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I'm sorry." But as she was like texting me, I walk into the boba tea shop and just sit down next to her, and she's like, John? And she was like crying. And I was like, oh my God, this is awful. So, and that ended up being like the worst joke ever. I felt so bad, but like doing that, I guess like took a lot of pressure off because like, I don't know, we were laughing. So it was really easy to like just kind of like segue into like, just like, I don't know, being friends and being
She was
like,
crying though. She had tears.
yeah, she was really upset, but
God.
there were other people there too. I mean, there was other people part of it and whatnot. So it was a lot. I don't know. Meetups are always like really scary because you just never know what to expect from like the other person.
So is this all VRC? All VRC?
No, this is Mabinogi, which is like it's a MMO game, but I don't know. The same principle applies, but on VRC, I feel like it might be a little different because you actually like see people in front of you, right? And you get like an idea of what like they might look like just from like kind of because like I think subconsciously that we get this idea that we actually do look the way we look like in VRChat. Like regardless of how much time we spend in real life, I think we subconsciously get this idea. No, okay, titties aside.
Like, I know what you mean.
Do you know how like you mentally put a face on somebody's voice?
Yeah.
Like when you hear someone, you
so when
just
you see
imagine
them
what they look
IRL,
like.
you're like, who is that? Like,
Right,
it doesn't
exactly.
process in your brain. Yeah.
Right, and I think VRChat might influence that a little bit more just because our body sees real movements. It's kind of like where if like you see a silhouette of like a person, you think it's a person, but it's actually just like a couple plants or whatever. Our brains are just naturally wired to like assume what someone looks like, and the fact that we see a face and a voice on top of that, it's like we subconsciously convince ourselves that that's what they look like. So maybe like I don't know. I've only done one like actual VRChat meetup. And that was with Iron Jew and my roommate. And that was, I don't know, that was crazy. That was intense. We went to Atlantic City. Yeah. We were good friends before he like started streaming and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like every time you meet someone in real life though, you always like do something really, really fun, and it ends up being like the best weekend ever. Like the amount, like I don't know why it makes it like so much better when it's someone from online.
Yeah.
We went to Atlantic City. It's like
That's
East
cool.
Coast Vegas, basically. You guys ever been like gambling?
Casinos?
Yeah. We went to casinos and whatnot. I did not win money. You guys
Has
ever go
everyone
out
been
gambling?
to Vegas? We should do a Vegas trip. Oh my God.
I
that
would be
so
down. I
fire.
would be down to go to
Let's go.
Vegas.
Good Lord. I had my,
Yeah, I'll do
that's
whatever.
my bachelor party in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh.
I spent $5,000, but it was not at a casino. So
Home.
just let that
Wait,
sit
so
in
where was
your
it
mind
at?
for a second.
Male strippers. Male strippers on.
Yes.
Okay,
God.
let's go.
Yeah,
What's
we gotta
the
find
most you've ever
establishment.
spent on a vacation in general before? Would you say that was the most?
I went to New Zealand. I sort of honeymoon. I spent like around $3,000 or $4,000, I think.
Mm.
So, but yeah, the Vegas trip was probably the most, to be honest. Now that I think about it. Yep. Didn't
Yeah, I
have
think-
to spend that much, but yeah, it's Vegas.
I think the most I ever
How about
spent was
you?
like maybe like I'm trying to think. Maybe like $1,000 or so. Like PAX. I think PAX is probably the most I spent on was like tickets and hotel, and then like all the commodities afterwards. Cruises can get really expensive. They seem like super cheap on paper, but like after all the fees and whatnot and all the excursions like add up, like it ends up
All the
being like
buffets.
really expensive. Yeah. Especially if you want to do like good things. I love cruises. Cruises are probably like one of my favorite things. You guys ever been on one?
I miss going on cruises. I've been on like
No.
2 cruises,
I'm scared of the water.
but they're a while ago. I love the
Scared of
water.
the
Can you
water.
swim?
Do you actually have a
swim?
fear of
I'm scared
water?
being in the water.
I'm just kidding. I'm from an island. I
Strange.
swim. I like to
Wait,
school
wait,
everywhere.
wait. Would you?
Mhm.
You ever been on a cruise, Ron?
I have not. I would love to. That sounds fun.
Yeah, you have like.
Is it? Do they go to like different places, or do you just stay like on the boat the whole time?
Sometimes.
It depends. I mean, it really
Yeah, it
depends.
depends.
You can get off if you want to. Like, so or let's say you can stay on the boat if you want to rather. So like
Okay.
if it, like there's excursions. So like you can pay for like parasailing. You can pay for like all these extra things you do on the islands or whatever you visit or countries and whatnot. I'm one of the people that like stay on the boat. I don't know. I like staying on the boat, but like as a kid because I like the food.
On a boat.
That's like the main thing I like going on cruises for is for the food. So.
Oh no.
But I think in
Yeah.
my older age, like as I'm getting older, I feel like I would want to go to the islands, like actually explore them and stuff as I get older. But as a kid, it's like you don't want to get off because it's really hot, and you just want to stay in the air conditioned room and like order room service and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, when you're a kid, you have like different desires.
Mhm.
But I probably want to get off the boat now. Yeah.
You ever been to an
Yeah.
exclusive resort before? They're like cruises on land, because they're all the stuff that's actually on a cruise, just like
Exclusive.
there on the island or on the resort that you stay at. Yeah, you pay like, so all inclusive is like you pay like $300 for like I don't know how many days. But everything at the resort is included in that price. So all the food is like a buffet, is like all the events there or whatever, all included just into that base price. I actually like that better. I don't know, I prefer that over like having to pay like every time I get something, because that
Can we
stuff
do
adds
that
up.
together?
An inclusive resort, I would be down. And I want to do a cruise.
Dude,
I want to do a cruise.
Group date.
Can I take
Let's
Jax?
go.
Group cruise date.
Hmm. Yeah, you can take Jax. There has been I was on a cruise with a ice skating rink. There was like an ice skate
Whoa.
rink on the
Oh.
actual cruise too. I think it was Royal Caribbean, that cruise liner.
I went to Carnival. So Carnival has a cruise, the Cozumel, which was fun. But
Cars
during
are the
cruise,
best price, I think.
they had a dance battle. It was crazy. This is before I
heck?
started VRC. Like, started
Mm-hmm.
getting into VRC, and I was like, I sucked, and everything. But
That's what
there's like
started
2
your dance
clubs on
career.
there. Yeah, pretty much. I was like, fuck, I gotta get. But yeah, the Carnival cruise is really cool. It goes to like Mexico and Barbados, I think.
Mm.
And I actually like swam with dolphins and stuff. That was fun.
Oh wow.
Got to touch
Yeah,
a
that's like
dolphin,
only
which was
stuff you
really
can do
weird.
like on cruises and whatnot, unless you like live in Florida or whatever and live in vacation spots. I think that's what the best thing
Yeah.
about cruises is, like being able to do like those once in a lifetime experiences, which at that point I feel like is worth any price.
You should totally go with friends for sure.
I've never been on a
like
cruise with
it.
friends. I've only been on a cruise with family before. That's why like I really
Yeah,
want to like
same.
do something with a bunch of people. Because
Yeah.
every time I've been on a cruise,
Only-
it's with my family.
Yeah, it's much funner when
You
you
gotta
go with
go.
your friends and you like get into like
Yeah.
shenanigans and shit all
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
Family's different because
like-
they're like, okay, well, here's our schedule for today, and you're like,
You can
That was
stay
boring.
wholesome around them. Can party hard, you know.
yeah.
Well, I've actually never been on a cruise
Yeah.
in the legal drinking age. So last time I went on a cruise, I was like 16
Oh,
maybe.
true.
So
yeah,
I've
I
never been
couldn't
like an
drink, I don't
adult on a
think.
cruise before.
Wait, aren't
So
you
I'd-
still 16
Yeah,
though?
it's lame.
I'm 14. I've gone back.
Oh.
Backwards.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
One seed.
Wonder what happens when I get
He's
to
14, I'm 14.
I just took a jump out the window.
My name's Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen comes into the freaking podcast studio.
They gone.
Oh, that's actually something I wanted to talk about. So I was going to mention this last week. So we were talking about OnlyFans the other day. We are talking about OnlyFans topics and how VRChat models can be used on OnlyFans. So we've all seen booth avatars before, right? And kind of how they look really young.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god, my leg. They look really young.
Oh yeah.
So, is there
Yeah.
a rule about an avatar's appearance based off the assumption of age and its use in NSFW content? Where do you guys stand on as far as the appearance of that and people using it to make NSFW things?
It's always mocha when I see like a lolly
Yeah,
avatar.
I tend to like click away pretty quick
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just like, I'm not.
But who's to say that the avatars that we're in right now aren't in that age group?
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
so
I guess it's
so
up to interpretation. Yeah.
right, it's all up to interpretation, which then puts into the rule of where is the line drawn as far as things that are acceptable versus unacceptable. Is it a majority kind of thing, where if the most people think that this model is underage versus, another group that says, oh no, this avatar is definitely overaged?
I think it's just like a gray area. It's hard to tell.
I was about to say that too. It's very
Yeah.
gray. It's people
Yeah.
can.
I think
very
just
subjective.
seeing it being such a common thing now, it's like if you go on like any NSFW tag on Twitter, there's a bajillion of different pictures out there, and no one actually knows like ages of models. And I wonder if there's ever going to be a time period where someone says, hey, this is borderline child pornography that we're posting and making on these avatars, because anyone can literally just be like, hey, the avatar I'm using is 20, 25 years old. That's how old my avatar is.
9,000-year-old
But it
dragon.
could be a lolly, right? It could be a lolly, and they could just be
Yeah, I mean,
saying
like
it's
same with
that.
anime though, and that's like
Sure,
still, like a thing.
sure.
So.
Right.
I think there's a difference in general. Like we were talking about last night. Like I don't want to say like the Asian crowd, but like Japan, Korea, they have like I see a lot of dancers and just that community in general using like booth models, which have a different look than say
Yeah.
like stuff we like Gumroad models. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like
Sure, yeah,
there's a
Gumroad.
difference. And so like for example, the battle that's coming up that we're going to be in, I'm pretty sure 80% of the models will be like boothish because of that crowd, you know, a lot of Korean, Japanese
Sure.
dancers and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see like how that happened because that booth, I feel like it came out pretty quickly, like overnight. I don't know.
No, I
It
agree.
just
I
barely
agree.
showed up. It's like,
I think booth stuff kind of came out of nowhere too. Like I haven't really been in avatar making in quite a while, but I remember like
Yeah.
I know there's like a big anti-American model and anti-booth model crowds that like don't want to
Is
use
there?
booth models and don't want to use yeah, like you go to like some of these places in like I've been in H party before, and there's people on their profiles that literally say I will block American avatars and stuff like that. And I don't understand why. But one thing I do have a strong opinion is that every booth model looks so unbelievably similar. Like and I wonder if people that use booth models think about that American models, that we look all similar.
Probably they probably see like a panda base and they're like, there it is again.
We're all sick.
There it is again.
Same
I do
colors.
get pretty.
Panda.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Big
do
butt.
get tired of seeing panda base. I'm not gonna lie. I get pretty sick of it. Like I don't know. That's just how I
Well,
feel.
sorry. Sheesh, I'll switch to another base. What?
I think that's why I switched over to this one. Just because I don't know. I can't stay the same model for long. I don't know. I'm just like I love switching models all the time. It's just like no matter what, face everything. Just
Yeah,
constantly
that's what
switching.
it was last year actually. I always like finding like what kind of model I really liked being in, and like I found this one just like in a random public, and I like really vibed with it.
Yeah.
And ever since, like I really like just like this like specific edit of this face and like just like the tattoos and stuff. So I've
Right.
been like putting on different clothes on it, and that's been nice. But I don't know, like I like different clothes per se, but like the base I'm happy with.
Yeah, I
And, like,
think like
different
Ron and
hairstyles,
Sweet
too.
have stayed like the same face and hair
Yeah.
and whatever over like the past forever. Like I don't know. I
Right,
feel like I could never do
definitely.
that.
Because I
I
do
know,
like
I
having
feel
like
like-
the identity, like the recognizable.
Sure. Right.
identity.
Right.
I
Right.
miss
Sure. Sure.
that.
Sure.
So
Ron's been in a lot of different stuff. I remember, like the
Yeah.
cute Vans and like
Mostly just
the
like
cute
white
hat
hair.
and
That's my
stuff.
thing.
White hair,
ears.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that's how I feel too. Like as long as it follows a line with like a theme, right? Kind of like a theme is kind of like, even from like I would never like a dress or like a skirt or whatever. I think it's up to like everyone's kind of like preference of kind of what they like a lot. I just noticed your donut's white now. Is that white? Hold on, let me zoom in on it.
It's glaze. You glazed it
Oh,
earlier.
Wait, no, wait,
Your donut's white.
no, it's just
What?
pink.
Why does
Did I
it look
switch
white?
up?
white.
No, it's just
Is
pink.
it white?
Vanilla.
It's white for everyone.
It's vanilla. You know, like the pink frosting. Do you see a little bit of pink in there? A little bit.
I think maybe it's just the
Maybe it's the
brown
lighting on the world. Yeah,
Oh,
it could
it's
be
the
the
lighting.
lighting. Oh, our studio lighting. Yeah,
I mean,
our studio lighting. Yeah.
but, yeah.
yeah, totally. Yeah, sure.
So Ron,
Speaking of
Jax,
lighting.
how was your guys this week? Oh, baby, you want to go ahead?
Oh well, it's kind of nerdy, but you saw that Unreal 5 engine?
Oh,
video?
Unreal 5 engine.
Oh
my
Unreal
gosh.
5 is out. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
see it?
Holy
Yeah.
cow! Did you guys see the
So
I think we were talking about how imagine if that was like replaced Unity for VRChat.
God.
How different?
should
How much
watch
of a
the
game
video.
changer would that be?
Yeah, because like I think there's two big competing game engines right now. I feel like there are like Unity, which is Microsoft's thing, and then Unreal Engine, which I don't know who makes that, but Unreal Engine, like there's a demo online if you should watch it. It's only 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and they show like somebody closing a curtain or bringing this big wall in front of a room, and the
Yeah.
light just like
Mm.
slowly
Goes away.
fades out.
It's
and
so
it goes
good.
Yeah,
away,
it's
and
very
like,
Global illumination, it's
realistic.
ridiculous.
It is
Yeah.
very
my
realistic. So,
mind. My
um,
mind.
if somebody doesn't know what the lighting changes, so essentially when it comes to lighting in games and in engines, there is something called baked lighting, and that's basically how a lot of studios create their lighting effects. So for instance, if you have a light in a box room, when you shine a sunlight through a window, the whole room is going to illuminate in the real world, right? But in game engines, in order to make that happen, it takes a lot of rendering, like hours and hours and hours and hours for one frame to render of that lighting. With that being said, in order to make that faster and easier and not lag a computer every time that someone walks in that room, they do something called baking their lighting, which refers to making light sources that basically mimic the effect of that by changing textures dynamically. So in order for so let's say we have a wall right here and there's a light shining in somewhere in the room. When that light starts, the texture will actually illuminate instead of the light actually shining on it. So it basically fakes it. It doesn't look nearly as natural as what Unreal Engine 5 is doing. And basically what it's doing is it's enabling that lighting effect to happen in a much smoother and more optimized way than Unreal Engine 4 and earlier versions are able to do. Unity can't do that. So Unity can't do something like that without doing the bake lighting. And we were talking about imagine if that was in VRChat and how imagine if Unreal Engine 5 were to be run on some sort of virtual reality game in general. I'm sure we're going to see something, right? Some sort of virtual reality game is going to run on Unreal Engine 5, right? It's got to happen at some point.
Part of it. I want to see it.
I'm programming it right now.
Yo, VRChat, let's go.
VRChat Unreal, it's happening. Let's go. Programming it as we speak.
Unreal Chat.
Unreal Chat.
More than Unreal. Well, I think just any VR game. Like, not just VRChat, but can you imagine Pavlov or Onward, in that setting? I don't know. I think that would be one of the biggest game changers. But then performance is definitely something that is always got to be considered when it comes to game engines and whatnot. I don't even know if there's any game demos out yet for things on Unreal Engine 5.
The new Matrix game. Did you see that Matrix demo?
I haven't.
That's built on Unreal. It's ridiculous. It looks like something Pixar made, but and then there's all the other little tidbits. They have dynamic level of detail where they show a little donut that has 40,000 polys or something, and then you show a whole room full of that same donut, hundreds, thousands of them, and then the camera's just fine, the frame rate is fine, and everything's moving, and I'm like, why can't I have that in VRC? A freaking
I think optimization in VR is so important, especially with the club scene being so popular. I think a big idea, I guess, test is going to be when this dynamic bone thing actually hits live, not just on beta. The whole what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. Fizzbones. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a really big game changer to actually see how that affects big events that people like to have a lot of people going to, because it's those really big events that get people interested in VR, in my opinion. Things like clubs, things especially for dancing. Right, the worst thing any dancer will agree with is dancing on low frames. It sucks. It sucks so much dancing at 11 or 25 frames. That's why wireless is so
dancing on low frames and dancing with bad tracking or God, right?
You have so much.
And PSA, by the way, if you keep your trackers kind of far apart ish. It really, really helps. At least for me. I think I'm gonna try to dance after this, and hopefully
the dongles.
Yeah, the dongles. The dongles. Yeah, the dongles.
Okay.
Big dongles. Yeah.
Ron, what initially got you into dancing when you first heard about it? I feel I've never asked you that question. Your first idea of wanting to dance.
I think I was just exploring roads. Then I saw Just Dance. Then I know my sister, she did Just Dance a bunch. I just checked it out. I was like, you could dance in VR? This is so cool. I just kept going there every day.
And then that segued you into freestyle?
Yeah, but it took a year and a half or so.
Did you dance before that?
No, I never left my couch, man.
Holy heck. So you just became you're just I'm a dancer now. This is my calling.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
expect
amazing.
it. The thing is, my little sister, she's been doing choreo for a decade. So I've seen dancing, I've seen events, I've seen performances throughout my whole life, but I didn't care about it. Then here I am dancing. Yeah,
I noticed a lot of people who dance have some sort of background in either music or seeing dance before or being involved in dance in some way. You produce music, I played freaking Osu and played instruments and whatnot. I feel I don't know why that's such a common thing. It's just because it's a passion for music. That might be a thing.
I didn't even listen to music back then.
What?
Honestly.
No way.
Maybe just
Really?
That's
casually,
crazy.
but I never actively
I mean,
listen to
you say you don't
music.
count when you dance, right? You
How
don't count when you
much?
dance. You
I
just
mean,
go
now I
and kill
don't,
it, right?
but just before, like
Mm.
before I got into dancing, just I didn't have anything to do in VRChat. I think it was just cool. You can just move in VR, just follow videos.
What would be like 3 things you would tell someone who's like new to dancing, kind of what to focus on? 3 different
Oh
things.
man. Well, listen to the music. Take your time. Like you don't have to go do a lot. And fudge. I'm not sure. There's so much. I
Because you
can't
have to
think
know
of
so many
anything
people
right now.
do like find you as an inspiration, right? That has to be something. And
Oh
you probably get the
no.
question very
Like, how
frequently.
did you go from like couch potato to like fucking jumping and like doing fucking rolls?
Sure, like
And,
getting
like,
started. Getting
splits and
started is probably the
shit?
biggest thing. Everyone wants to know like how do you
Mhm.
get started? Because that's like the number one question is like how do I get the confidence to like not know what I'm doing but do it anyway?
I don't know. I started half body. It's just like I said, I had nothing to do and I had no friends. So after I just did Just Dance because it was fun to like actually exercise in VR and like dancing because I never done it. Then over time I like met people and that's how I like made friends. So I think it was mostly like friends or like a community, which made me kept dancing or get more into it.
Mm.
Yeah, I was
Do
a
you find
freaking
that
loner.
like when you did
Yes.
it, you dance in VR, like I don't say like superpowers, like not superpowers, but you feel like more, you feel like extraordinary. You feel like you could do
Yeah.
like some of this, so like when you do
Well, that's
freestyle, I
true.
feel like you go and maybe you might black out or you might like when you do freestyle, you do freestyle.
Mhm.
Like what goes through your mind? Do you just let the music take over, or do you like think of stuff that you want to try out, or are you like you're trying to have fun, like
I think
or do you not really think?
it depends on the mood or like the song. Sometimes I'm just trying to find out the pattern, figure out, and I'm always sometimes thinking like what move I should do next, like on this
Right.
drop or when it changes, because I don't want my
Yeah.
to like repeat the same thing like over and over again. It
God.
changes like all the time. It's all in your head, like how you feel. Or for me,
Okay. Hmm.
yes.
Kuro, do you have a
I
thing
think a
that
lot
goes
of
through your head?
like when you are really experienced at dancing, it's really easy to be like, oh yeah, I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. But as someone who's like new to dancing, it takes years and lots of practice to actually be able to do like a full minute or 2 minutes of different stuff throughout that whole entire 2 minutes. Like that takes a lot
Yeah.
of developing and be able to reach that point. And I think a lot of people when they start dancing, they feel like they can't repeat moves because the people they watch don't, or because they've heard it's a bad thing to do. And I think I learned as like a new dancer is that it's okay to do the same songs. It's okay to do the same moves as you're learning because you won't be able to get better at those moves unless you do them multiple times in a row. You won't be able to do good at those songs unless you do those songs multiple times. And I think a lot of that like weighed on me when I first started dancing was a lot of those like not wanting to repeat. So I feel like my biggest like tip to like people who are like new to dancing is just be comfortable. Like you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do what someone has done before you or see that you've seen. It's all about paving kind of your own path and doing what makes you the most comfortable. Because the bottom line is you won't get good at dancing if you're not comfortable. If you're not happy with what you're doing, if you don't feel good, if you're like frustrated, if you're getting upset at yourself. I think like I used to like only talk about the bad things that I did, and then it was Jedin who kind of really like started like talking about more like the positive sides and kind of like looking at the good things that you're doing, because that positive reinforcements that you received is a much more effective way of pursuing and to keep progressing than only focusing on negative things. If you go back and it's like if you're an artist, right? If you go back and you keep trying to draw the same line over and over and over again, it prevents you from being able to explore new types of drawings or new types of styles from
Yeah.
drawing, instead of just focusing on something that you've done forever ago,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think in a lot of ways, if you go forward and progress in other things, you can always come back and check out what it is that you were doing bad before, and then working on that. I think when it comes to any kind of progression, that's think about like it can also be like kind of streaming. You don't have to focus on like your layout at first. Maybe you can go back to that and work and focus on that in the end. Jack, have you ever like wanted to get into dancing before? I feel like I see you dance sometimes, but
Kind
like
of.
you're most like just
Yeah,
like freaking jumping
sometimes.
around, right?
Yeah,
Just the shuffle.
I'm never like, oh, I'm dancing right now.
Because
I'm
you
gonna
know a lot of
practice
people
moves
who
and
like to
stuff.
dance, you know, and I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
I think it's fun. I like dancing, but I don't like take it like too seriously. Kind of just like do whatever like comes naturally.
mhm.
Like I was just at Just Dance the other day, and that was fun. But I can't really follow like the moves and stuff. That's really difficult for me.
Honestly, I can't either.
But yeah,
Sometimes the
sounds like
moves are
it's
so
totally different from actual
ridiculous.
dancing.
Like it's
Yeah.
just they're so Just Dance. Everything in Just Dance is a groove. It's like constant repeats of the same thing that you could do infinitely for the whole song.
Oh yeah, like once you actually get the pattern down, then it's like
Yeah,
really
for
easy.
sure, for sure. But it's funny. I feel like a lot of people start with Just Dance, right? Like you just kind of get into the idea of like how fun it is to move your body to
Yeah.
music. Um,
Mhm.
I noticed that people who start with Just Dance always like kind of have a head start on everyone.
I find that
It's good.
like Just Dance, like if you actually try and follow movements, it's kind of awkward. So I
It
always
is.
I'm
I
like
agree.
bumping, and then I do the movements with it. But I'm not like standing like waiting to do the next move or like following exactly what happens on screen because it's like too like I don't know. It just like doesn't come
You
naturally.
have to, you have to add your flavor to
Yeah, you have
Just
to add
Dance.
flavor to it.
Yeah.
And just copy
I,
exactly.
honest,
Um,
like 80% of choreo I've seen, whether it be on YouTube or Just Dance, looks like forced and like
sure.
very like stiff. And so, but it's awesome to take like moves from something like Just Dance or Dance Central, and then just be like, "Yo, that's mine now. I'm gonna sneak it into a
Yeah.
freestyle."
So how do you
Right?
make choreo not look so forced? What's so if you guys don't know what choreography is, it's basically moves that are predetermined based off that song that you develop by basically mapping out. It's like writing a song versus freestyling a song. And freestyle dancing is you hear the song and you just go as you feel. Choreography is all stuff that's planned before the song actually plays. But how do you make choreography not look so telegraphed?
Choreography.
Telegraph. Um,
Choreography.
I think it's kind of like my heroes like Bruce Lee. You practice the same movement over and over and over and over until it's ingrained into your body. Like say the jerk or something. Like some people who do it, they look like really like
Yeah.
weird.
So we were, oh my gosh! So we were laughing. I'm not laughing at Shine, but Shine's he does the jerk. He does like this marching thing with his hands. I don't know if you saw that. We were. Because Ron means we were like you know the super free plug, and then I think I don't know if she was doing it on purpose, but watching him do it, it's made me laugh a lot. We were calling them what party
yeah.
like basically like crew moves and stuff like that. Things like that would be
Yeah,
Sure.
created a thing called career party moves, and it's good. You can even have that as a foundation, like silly moves like that, party moves. But you gotta understand how to do the move, and then understand like why it looks cool,
yeah.
fundamentally, and then from there you can get creative with it. You can make it yours. You can do it backwards. You can like do it in slow motion. There's like that's how much you understand the move to where you can make it yours essentially, and you can adapt it to whatever style of music. So if someone's like has shuffle music, but you're like doing the jerk to it, it can still look good, as long as you know how to do it. So I think just practice.
You have so actually Ron, I was gonna ask you about this, but you and Sweet both have like a music video thing that you're doing. Like I know you're doing a music video, and then Ron has some other music video thing going on.
Yes, one.
What do you guys
You
want to
want
share
to?
a little bit about that?
What music video?
Didn't somebody
that's a
ask you
song.
to?
Yeah, sure.
Did somebody ask you
Yeah.
to dance for a music video the other week?
It was Clout. Yeah, they just want me to dance to like an unreleased song that someone produced. Then they just clipped it into a music video. It had a lot of like those club dancers included too.
How did that go?
It was cool. It was nice. It's interesting.
Are they still working on the video? Or is it, like not out yet?
No, I just released it like a few days ago. It's really
okay,
out.
okay. That's something to link it
Oh,
later.
yeah, let's go.
I know that Sweet's doing something too.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say with who, possibly, probably. Ali VR asked me to help him with the music video, and he said he gave me the song, and he was like, You can make your own choreo to it. It's like a 3-minute song, and I've never made a choreo before. I just
3 minutes.
freestyle.
That's so long.
3
Yeah,
minutes.
3 minute choreo is long. That is
Oh my
very,
God.
very long. We always talk about how it's like super,
Yeah.
like so Ron and Sweet will dance to full songs on the reg, right? It is super not realistic to do that. Like at competitions, they don't
No.
do that. They'll dance to maybe like 30 seconds of
No.
each song at a time. It's
Exactly.
very, very not realistic to do that. It's just a fun thing to do for a lot of us who like to showcase and whatnot. Anyway,
Something that's,
continue
like,
with the 3 minute. So 3 minute
Yeah.
choreo.
3-minute choreo. I hope there's lots of cuts and like different, story put in there because I cannot do a choreo.
It's a
for
run-on
I can
sentence a lot of
freestyle
time,
for
right?
that
I think
long.
we always like to talk about
Yeah.
dance as like a story, like a paragraph, right? You don't want it to be a story that's like super run-on. You want it to have like punchlines. You want it to have like spaces and adjectives
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And 3 minutes is like a very long run-on sentence.
God, it's so long.
Do you have any ideas for it?
Especially
yet?
if there's no
Have you been
lyrics.
thinking about things?
When it comes to choreo, I'm thinking I'm just gonna listen to the words of the song and like have my movement based around that,
Just
which
word it,
is
yeah.
I think it's good advice for anyone doing a song with lyrics in it. Just like listen to what's going on. Jeden does this a lot. He'll act out like what's going on in the song, the lyrics, like.
My man.
So hopefully I can do that. It's very 80s feel. Yeah, my mom.
Yeah.
And then from then on, there's levels, right? There's lyrics, and then there's cadences, and then there's the beats,
Sure.
and there's the melodies. You can choose and pick and choose any of those at any time, which is really cool about dance. But I don't know. I'm gonna listen to it like 1,000 times and see.
Well,
what I
good
can
luck,
do.
because I feel like I feel like I could maybe do like a really short choreo, but like other than that, I feel like I'd be like,
Sure.
I'm out of stuff to do. Like I don't know. At some point, I feel like
It'd be cool to see a choreo to one of your favorite songs at some point.
yeah, for sure. Ron, would you ever host like a dance workshop or kind of class in VR? Because so many people want to know like how you even start dancing in VR. Because I'm talking to some new people for dancing. A lot of people don't even have their trackers like set up in a proper way, and it's like all these things are things that nobody really mentions or like is able to tell you about unless like you directly ask them. So would you ever do like a workshop or something for people?
Nope.
Never.
I didn't know how to
Saw it coming.
teach. Like what do I say exactly?
I feel like
don't
you
know.
would like start with the basics, like super basic things.
Or just
Setting up your
very
trackers, setting up your
general-
room, right? A lot of people
like
don't even have enough space set up in their room. I think Crow's play space is like yay big.
Don't use track straps. Get a proper avatar.
Yeah, but bunch of stuff like that, right? Because I think a lot of people don't use the proper bases either for like when it comes to dancing. Because you definitely have like a right avatar base in order to like actually move around and be comfortable moving, right?
That's tough.
I could see Sweet doing a workshop though. I could see you hosting something.
I've been writing. I have a channel in my Discord, my private one, on like how to like what I want to teach, and I don't want to teach moves. Like I know like say Dust Bunny and Cav. I think they do a lot of like moves and choreo.
They do
and
lots of
stuff.
choreo. Yeah, they do lots of choreo and like style-based teaching. Fundamental,
Yeah.
I don't think there's not really a lot of not a whole lot of fundamental teaching. It's more so like, hey, here's a
Yeah.
song for the day, and let's learn a nice little choreo to it, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It definitely puts you in a
It's
really
good.
good position to like learn how to actually move to music, which is step one.
I want to try to teach freestyle specifically if I do, and it's gonna be like things like contrast, which is like any dance has that. So I'm talking about like speed, changing your speed, changing how big your movements are if they're like here, if they're like out here. Exploring like how far you can stretch and your space around you and behind you, and then angles and stuff. So like more stuff like that, which is not style dependent, but it might be hard to teach. So I'm still thinking about that. Yeah, that'd be really cool though. Soon,
Yeah, I feel like that'd be
TM.
super like. 'Cause the thing is like, I just know so many people that like want to start dancing but don't know begin, and that's literally what keeps them from never trying it. And like the
Sure.
dance community in VR, like it's not that big. It's big, but it's not like like everywhere you go, there's gonna be someone that knows about hip hop dancing. Honestly, the lap dancing, pole dancing community is probably a little bigger than hip hop and freestyle. Like if you mention that you're a dancer to someone in VR
yeah.
chat, they're instantly gonna assume you pole dance or like hump people's legs for a living, right? It's like if you hear the word dancer, I literally had
don't
somebody
even
in my
mention it.
comment section on one of my YouTube videos today say, hey, I want to get into dancing in VRChat, but I'm under 18. Every time I mention the word dancer, someone says you're under 18, you're giving lap dances, and I was like, I totally get that. Like I actually do get that. I feel like you have to put hip hop in front of before the word dancer. People think that you're a pole dancer.
But it's probably hanging out in the clubs, and that's why. So it's
Yeah, like if you go to FPT
assume-
Haven and like you try to like start
I
dancing, people are
dance.
gonna instantly think that you're dancing lewdly and stuff like that, which is really unfortunate. I just wish there was a better way of getting people more involved into like the dancing scene, because I just know of so many people that want to and always kind of say they will and they will and they will, but just never pull the trigger on it. And I wonder if it's because it's not as inviting as it seems. Like I think the IDA Discord is like literally invite only, and there's no way of really getting into it. It's like that alone. I feel that's like the biggest dance community right now, right? I don't know.
There's
I
a
feel like
reason they did that though. There's,
Why-
like,
why did they
random
do it?
people or like bots or there's like a lot of spam and everything. So that's why they just closed it, and you just ask anyone to join. So they didn't close it like. close it.
What's more likely though? Someone going up to someone and asking for an invite link, or it being easier to go in and see what it's like? I feel like every time
That's kind
something's
of
invite only,
intimidating,
it's
yeah.
so much more like walled, right? It's someone like, oh, I'm too afraid to message this person and ask them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel, I guess. If there was like a
Yeah.
more of an
I
open
mean,
style of inviting people
is
to the
there?
dance community, and better advertising
True.
and better. And as streamers, I hate to say this, as streamers, I feel like we were like the front line as far as getting people involved. Think about how many people come to your stream and go,
That's
"Oh my
true, yeah.
God, I love your dancing. I want to try it so bad." How many times have you heard that? You probably hear like at least once a stream,
Yeah.
where someone says they want to get into it. And because we're the ones that are mostly talking about, mostly out there, I feel like it's our kind of like responsibility. I feel it's more likely that that'll happen rather than us going to a public world and finding someone who wants to learn how to dance.
Yeah, I just thought like, if you're a dancer, like what world do you go to? A public world. It's like you full body Haven, or it used to be the Void Club, right? In the back
Yeah.
rooms of the Void Club. Like what the heck? Is
Right.
there? Do you think maybe it would be good to, as say you're a streamer and you want to get that out there more, maybe you partner with a world maker and you say, let's make hip hop world. I don't, or it doesn't have to be hip hop.
Like if
but
everyone goes
dance
to like the
world.
dojo, like the
Yeah,
Kinja's dojo,
and then there'll be Kinja's
like
dojo for sure,
designated
but
road. Yeah.
a designated world for people who want to watch dance or get into dance and get started. Because the back rooms of the Void Club was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, no. If you go to
or body
FPT Haven and you try to do some dancing, it's instantly gonna be looked at as like if I see any of like us like in FPT Haven, I'm instantly gonna think that you guys are doing some sort of like lewd dancing. That's like I don't know. So backroom Void
I
Club is
watch
definitely
Yeah.
dancing. I don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's your
No,
morning
I don't
routine,
know.
Ron. Is you wake up and then you go join somebody who's in
Lewd
freaking
dancing.
FPT Haven. So moving on, but Jax, how's coming back from this the adventure been? How you been
The
feeling?
adventure.
Adventure.
Your 1,000-hour fiasco,
Oh yeah, I think it's been like 2 weeks now. I think
right?
It's
Yeah,
like
how you
I
been
took a
feeling?
week off,
17
and then I-
days.
Because-
oh,
4 hours.
Wait, really? Oh
I
my
don't know. I don't
God.
know when the last time you
20
really
minutes.
streamed is, but I don't know how you've been
Shit.
feeling, like as far as it's been affecting
I
you.
missed it.
I've been like adjusting back. I just did my first variety stream since like on Monday, and that was nice. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm back in the groove of like not streaming all the time.
Okay.
So I do kind of miss it in like a weird way.
You
'Cause,
miss like
like-
the actual
Yeah.
adventure, right? I feel that. It's like going on
Yeah.
vacation that you really enjoyed, and when you come home, it's like, oh man, right?
Yeah. Well, it makes
Sure.
me like kind of more like looking forward to like doing like an uncapped subathon or something. Like I want to like I'm hyped to do that now. So.
Right.
But I want to like wait. I don't want to do 2 really long streams like back to
Sure,
back.
sure. I'm
Why
6
not?
months
I'm
in
like-
between.
I'm
I have
chilling
6
right
months
now.
in between mine.
Yeah.
6 months in
I'm
I'm
between
gonna,
mine.
yeah.
Right.
I'm just gonna try different things and hang out for now. So, but yeah, it's been nice like adjusting back and like not streaming, and I've been enjoying that time and like working on projects and stuff. Like
Sure.
I've been staying up until like 5 a.m. each night, just working on my avatar and like trying to do stuff like that. So and like editing like
What?
TikToks and like videos and like making social media posts.
I made my first
That's been
TikTok the
fun.
other day. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
God, as I was making, I was just cringing the whole time. Like honestly, dude, I don't know what it
Are
is.
you,
I
like,
just
doing-
Can't.
are you
I
doing,
just
like, the-
can't.
Like the stereotypical like.
No, I did
like,
dance
audio
clips.
clips?
I have
Or are
2
you
dance
putting
clips,
clips?
just 2 dance clips right now.
Okay.
Like even then, it's just like Oh my god! Like I don't
There's
know. I
different
don't know what
kinds
it
of approaches you
is.
can do for
Like
TikTok. Like my approach is like just like edited clips, edited sections of my streams
sure.
that are like entertaining, like too long for a clip, but then like too spread out to, you know what I mean? Like I have to edit it down.
Right. I
So
think that's a good way of putting it. I just have a problem. Like, I have this. I can't edit stuff of myself that I think is funny about me. You know, like I would have to have
oh
somebody come to me and say, "Hey, this is hysterical. I'm gonna edit a clip for you," kind of thing. Does that make sense? Like, I
yeah.
can't find myself funny. I don't know if that's
True.
because I don't
Same.
think
Well,
I'm funny, but like I look at my
you're
like
never like
I just start cringing at myself if I like go, "Oh my god, this is so funny." Because
well
like here's the thing,
have
what if I put it up there and no one thinks it's funny? And I mean, no one thinks it's funny. It's like you know,
Yeah.
I can't do
Yeah.
it. I can't. I need someone else to like kind of give me the validation.
I
This
don't
is a
really
good
I
clip.
don't even care.
You know what I
Like
mean?
if like I have like a moment and then I like laugh at afterward and I'm like that was so stupid because like a lot of times like it'll just happen and I'll just be in the moment just doing
Sure.
something stupid and then afterwards like what just happened, like it's like I'm like in like the zone or whatever,
Mhm.
and then that's when I'm like okay I should go back later and like clip that and like edit that.
Right. I guess
That's
like
usually how I know.
I guess you kind of in the moment you kind of know. I guess. But I don't think I could ever make like I know there's people that make like compilations of their clips. So it'll be like VRChat funny moments
Oh yeah,
featuring
that's
me.
way too much.
It's like I can't
That's
way
do
too
that.
much.
I don't
You
know.
can't
I,
do
I
that,
think if
yeah.
you're a comedian, it's a little easier to do that. But like as someone who like doesn't think themselves as like a funny person, it's like I would feel so weird just like being like I think this is funny. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube. Like I don't know. That's just how I
You just have to
feel.
hope.
Ron,
Just
you
cross your
have
fingers and hope.
compilations of you being funny though. I've seen
Oh,
on your
no.
YouTube you have
The
compilations.
people made that. Yeah, people did
Is it all
those
people
videos for
videos that
me.
people make? Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I can't
don't know.
edit for crowd.
Sure. Would you
Mhm.
make like your own if you could though?
I don't think I do that much on stream to kind of. Yeah, I'll have to say like a lot of sussy or gay stuff in order to make one. Honestly, that's how I feel. Yeah.
Do you feel like if you started doing that, it would start to impact your streams, like how like you'd behave? Like, all right, I gotta do something funny for my compilation on YouTube.
Not really. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't try to force stuff. It
I
happens.
mean,
It
a lot of your
happens.
clips that you post to Twitter are like hilarious. Like,
All your headshot clips get
So,
freaking DMCA'd,
yeah.
dude. Every single
Oh.
headshot clip that comes out,
Yeah.
it's like starts popping
make
off, and
more.
then somebody freaking takes you out.
somebody's
Yeah.
like, fuck the hedgehog.
Yeah.
Hedgehog freaking activist. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
see, someone does not like your hedgehog.
Okay.
Oh.
I think when it comes to any kind of like content that I post, I feel like I don't know why. I just when other people like do it for you, it's a different feeling than you doing it yourself. Not in like a lazy labor way, but in just like a validation way for me. I don't know. I think the same goes with like artwork and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I don't really like getting artwork commissioned of myself because I feel like I don't know. I feel egotistical when I do that. I don't know why. I feel weird. But if somebody draws you something, it's such a more different feeling. You know, it's like I feel like I'm looking at myself in such a weird light. Ron, you're distracting the hell out of me. God.
Holy heck.
He's bouncing a banana.
What was I
It's like a
doing?
banana lamp.
This is enough proof that Ron freaking ERPs. He's had the whole ERP banana the whole time.
Yo.
Yeah, I just did last night. That's
Ah!
fine.
Damn.
Sheesh!
Couldn't tell the dragon.
Oh my God.
Anyways, yeah, carry on.
So I ate fast food this morning. 2 Egg McMuffin meals. I caved in really bad on my
Shame.
diet. Yeah, really bad.
Ew.
Wow. How much do you weigh? I'm
174.
114.
174 this morning, which is still 9 pounds
my
down.
gosh.
But I mean, I've been at the 10-pound, 9-pound range for the past like.
You should do
I wanna
that
say a week or so?
Ramadan fasting. Where
Well,
most people, they don't-
intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
Intermittent fasting. I am doing.
They don't
that.
eat.
But I didn't. This morning, I literally
sun up
woke
to
up and I was like, I'm
sundown.
starving. I want soda. I want egg McMuffins, and I just freaking caved in.
Wow. You freaking
You're craving the egg McMuffin.
I don't know. I
Good
made a
job.
huge mistake.
messed up, buddy.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta get the McDonald's. Just gotta cave.
Yeah, I mean, after you haven't had
True.
any of these, so the hash brown I noticed the most was like the greasiest thing I've ever eaten in my life. I like bit into it, and I was like, the grease just like went everywhere. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I was like way more heightened of sense because of it, or
You
because
could
of
take
like
like
not
a bite
eating
of like a
healthy.
fry, and it's just
That's
like
what it felt
pure
like.
salt.
That's literally what it felt like. I was like so surprised, and I think it's because I've been eating clean for like the past few weeks. But I
Yeah.
felt like garbage after. The second I got my door, I was super happy. The second I took my first bite, I was like, I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah,
Like
McDonald's make you
instant
feel
regret.
so
Like instant
terrible.
regret.
What makes me taste so good though?
It's
I
good,
don't know,
but
Ron,
like
I don't know how you have your
afterward-
physique with not eating, with just eating garbage. I don't
You know, I
understand.
ate like 50 candy bars the past week.
I don't understand. I don't
I eat
understand.
chocolate at work.
I mean, I'm the same way, but I still feel
Really?
like bad after McDonald's. Yeah, like I like fall asleep because it's just like I don't feel like good. But it's only for like an hour, and then I'm fine. Skirt, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Ron's
getting
diet's like
McDonald's
chicken
Friday.
nuggets. Yeah, what?
That's
How? How do you get away with that stuff?
Oh.
I'm trying to get into calisthenics lately. I want to learn how to do
What's
calisthenics. It's
Like
like a lot of
veganism?
using your it's a lot of using your body weight to work out. So like there's like all these different kinds of like moves and whatnot you can do, like wall like push-ups, which are like you put your body against the wall. They're called handstand push-ups. It's like
Yeah.
things like that. That I can like, so I don't, because I don't have like a weight set in my room. I live in an apartment building, and it probably wouldn't be the best idea to get one. But so I want to like learn how to like do weightlifting with your body weight. You could do
Yeah,
like
tummy.
presses and whatnot. You can do like shoulder presses and things like that just using your body weight. And there's all different kinds of like moves you can do, but they take a lot of practice. It's like progression, I think it's called. There's like progression calisthenics. But I think that'll be a good way of like kind of doing some workouts and getting better at it. Because I want freaking big arms. You know, I want to have a body like I'm really happy about. Have you guys ever been like self-conscious about your body before? Or like, are you guys like self-conscious? Or you say like you're generally like a confident person?
My butt's not big enough.
Self-conscious.
too-
Yeah.
too-
About my
It's
body
kinda
here.
small.
Shit,
Yeah.
gosh.
I look fat when I eat though. I get
Oh,
like, I can't see
true.
my abs
You get a
anymore.
little pudge.
Never
You
Yeah,
get a little
the
pudgy.
abs go away after you eat.
I think even having abs to
They
begin
come
with is something to
back.
be really freaking happy about. Listen, someone has that. Some people have that pudge 24/7. Ahem.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
Pat the pudge.
You better lose that before we meet. I'm gonna block you IRL.
Lose the meat before the meat.
punch you in the pudge.
Yeah, I think like
Need your pudge.
body confidence is something that's pretty common online. I don't know why. I feel like just in general, people who spend a lot of time online tend to have a lot of more issues with their self-confidence appearance in real life than they do like most normal people who are like outside every day and interact with people every day. And maybe VRChat also influences that too, just because you're around people with perfect physiques 24/7. Kind of like the exposure
I'm
thing
trying
where
to
it comes
make
like
this
people with like
match
magazines and whatnot.
1-to-1.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, 1-to-1.
I wish I had a big booty. I don't have a big booty.
1-to-1
Sorry.
matching, sweet to cat real life. Confirmed.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I think we do tend to share aesthetics with what we pick in VR. Sometimes, like it used to be really like kind of cute, like super cutie. You've seen my old stuff. And over time, I guess after meeting you, it's become like more just black and like
Nothing but black and really dark. Okay, well, when you date
Freaking-
people, you start to like. It's true that you do pick up parts of them. Like I say y'all now, and I don't
Yeah.
used to never say y'all,
Y'all?
but I say that
Let's go
so
y'all.
much now. I say y'all just all the time. Like y'all want to do something, like I say it all the time. Fudge, right? I've been saying fudge a lot less recently, but I think it's totally normal when you pick up traits of like your partner and whatnot. Like look at Ron, right? Like so you're into keyboards now, right? That's something that you picked up to like
no.
share with Choto, right?
Yeah.
Or like other things that you do that like she does, or things that she does that you do.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like she's also trying to get more into dancing, like choreo and stuff.
I saw her dancing as the freaking. I was watching back the video and I saw her dancing in Charles. Like, why didn't she change to an avatar and freaking dance with us? Was she not feeling it?
She was like, she was tired. She was dead. Or something.
Mm.
She thinks she went airsoft that day. Yeah, she was playing
Airsofting?
airsoft over there. Like
That's
IRL.
crazy.
IRL.
Yeah.
That's a place.
Pavlov
She's
IRL.
badass.
True. I'm scared of her now.
I've never been airsofting before. That's something I would totally like do, but I just never have done before.
Yeah,
That and like paintballing.
Didn't you
I've
wanna
never done
go?
either of them. I've never done either before.
I kind of want to buy one of those airsoft rifles and like shoot something. I don't know. It's like
Shoot Kuro.
I don't know. It's part of me being Texan. Oh, Kuro.
Hello?
Yeah, you look directly at me when you're like shoot something. I can imagine you like running around. You're like going. Like,
Yeah.
the most I've
Yeah.
ever owned as far as like airsoft weaponry goes is like one of those like stupid toy ones from like Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever.
Yeah, those.
But I feel like I would totally do something like that. Do you have to wear like full gear when you go airsofting? Like all a bunch of different like things? Have you ever been?
I've never been to. I would go with someone.
You
I've
ever gone,
never
Jax?
been though.
I think like once or twice. Yeah, it's fun.
What gear do you wear? Like protective gear? Maybe just glasses, maybe.
I
think you were just, like,
we
casual
just,
clothes.
yeah, we just like put a bunch of layers on, just like a shit ton of layers, and that was it. Like
They
a
do
mask
lots
on.
of recreation things, like military simulations type stuff when it comes to airsoft. Some people take that stuff
Yeah.
really seriously.
They do,
I-
yeah.
The most
That's a YouTube
exposure to
channel, isn't it?
airsoft, yeah. The most exposure I get though is like YouTube compilations of people fighting each other, like getting mad at each other over airsoft stuff,
Oh yeah.
or like screaming at
watched
each other.
that.
He's like, "Why did you shoot me twice? Supposed to shoot me once."
Oh my god, yeah. That's
Like it's an accident.
you're, like really into it. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, the amount of testosterone levels that are going off when they're playing with their toy
Off
guns.
the chain.
I imagine it's similar to paintball too. What do you think hurts more, airsoft or paintball? If you got shot by one.
No, I didn't. Never tried
Oh.
any of them.
I mean, like getting hit by a paintball. That's like I
Paintball
don't know. It
sounds
stings like for a
More
second, but
painful, yeah.
It's a wad. It's like a wad.
yeah, it's like a thunk, and then it explodes.
They leave
and,
nasty bruises, like really, really nasty
It's
bruises.
not like really
Have you
close or like
seen-
in a bad spot. You can get like a crazy bruise.
Have you ever seen like pictures of people that have been hit with like a paintball before? It's like a purple welt. It looks like a
Yeah.
coin. It's really, really gross.
God. You want it to explode, right? When it hits you, right? You don't want it to bounce off because that means
If it bounced off, that would hurt
It'll
so
absorb
bad.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not good if it bounces off.
I was watching
What is
it was called, I think it was Jackass 2.5 or Jackass 3.5, where they're talking about this bit called the cheetah. Do you know who Wee Man is? He's a pro
yeah,
skater.
Wee Man, yeah.
So they had Wee Man stand there with his shirt up, and the cheetah was they had like a bunch of people line up with a paintball gun and literally just shoot him. The idea is to hit him with so many paintballs that he looks like a cheetah afterwards because of all the welts on his
Oh.
body.
Oh god.
And-
Dead. What the heck?
But
It
the
looked
problem
like a troll or
was
something like that.
the problem was half of the people that shot him felt bad for shooting him, so they would like purposely miss. But the other half of the people really wanted to shoot him super bad. So what ended up happening was only half of his body had the welts on it, and the other half of his body was missing. So he just had this
That's
huge
fun.
wall of like red welts from the paintballs. I don't know. I feel like that just has to hurt so bad. And he had like one like in his butt crack too, so it hurt when he went to the bathroom. He was like complaining about that.
That's so. Oh my god.
No, I've never had a paintball gun. I feel like something I've always like talked about wanting to do, but just never done is like airsoft and paintball. It always comes up at some point throughout the year, especially like around spring.
It's fun, but it's kind of uncomfortable in my opinion. Like wearing all the layers and like
Yeah.
getting shot and shit like that. Yeah. So it's not like really my thing. It is fun though.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely worth like trying it out.
I think
Just
the
see,
idea of
like-
like the simulation of like actually like shooting people and like getting into like a fight or whatever
Yeah.
is kind of like
Yes.
exciting.
It's
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
Hey, but we used to play Pavlov and you have the
Pavlov.
same experience, right? Yeah.
IRL Pavlov.
IRL Pavlov.
Play hidden.
Choto and Sox are doing a Pavlov tournament against each other. Yeah. What is that?
True.
This Saturday. Me and
This
Jeff are
Saturday?
the commentators.
We're the commentators.
Oh,
What are like the details
yo.
on that? So is it just Choto versus Sox, or is it Choto has an army and Sox has an army?
It's just 1v1.
Yeah.
It's like a call out kind of thingy. So yeah, it's 1v1.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
I'll be on
cool.
Choto's account. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
Yeah, but let's see when you do a split out of
God.
nowhere. Like, okay.
I'll be commentating like Chodo's going in. I just hear me
Chodo turned the
reloading.
corner. Ah, Chodo got shot. Chodo got shot. Darn it.
He's freaking crouching. Oh my gosh.
You know, I remember when Pavlov like first came out, and everyone was like so excited about it, and I'm surprised it's still like just as popular as it was when it came out. That's kind of rare for VR games. VR games don't last very long.
Yeah.
It's a very
They
like
don't.
small.
Unfortunately.
It's hard for those games to go long, and it's cool to see that Pavlov survived. Have you guys ever tried Onward
Pavlov
before?
was- No, I haven't.
You ever tried Onward, Ron?
What is it?
Onward,
Which one? Oh,
Onward.
no, I've never tried Onward.
It's like
Isn't
a
it like battle
Wait, what
royale
is it?
kind of thing?
No, it's more like I actually haven't played in quite a while, so I'm not sure. But it's like milsim kind of. It's like you ever play Rainbow Six games? There's a game mode called Terrorist Hunt where there's like a bunch of bad guys on a map and you have to go and kill them all. But you have to be like really tactical about it and whatnot. But it has the same like gun effects as Pavlov, the same like gun reloads as Pavlov, like super really immersive. And there's a bunch of equipment you can
PvP?
use.
Or like bots?
There's PvP and there's PvE. The PvP scene is like really serious because they're all like it's all milsim. But the PvE scene is really fun too because like you can do silly stuff and whatnot. We should try it sometime. I don't know if you
We should try
if
it,
you wanna-
yeah, we
I
should.
have Onward still. I have not played it in like over a year. Me and Jelgel used to play it a ton. So like that was a really fun one. I feel like a common thing that tends to happen with VR things is combat. Games are always drawn towards some sort of combat aspect, right?
Like
Because you can do that
like
IRL.
swinging swords and stuff.
Things you can't do. I think video game culture in general, right?
Oh, sure,
Like
yeah.
murder and things that you wouldn't be able to do in real life.
The whole point.
hmm
That's why we play games, to do like crazy shit.
Right.
Yeah, true. When's the
Like
next
this.
horror map we're gonna do together?
Backrooms. Ron went to
I
Backrooms last
love
night,
that.
but it was like a little late. And Bob's who
Let's
said
go
it's
back
like
right now.
It's
Backrooms
just
is like it's
going
like
into the dark.
oh my god.
Yes. It
Well,
is
at
a
some
podcast
point,
and
I
backwards.
definitely want to do like more things with the podcast as far as like going out and doing stuff, like a field trip
Yeah.
or something, or
trip.
getting
Horror
out of the studio
podcasts.
or
Oh, that'd be
something.
cool. We could,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fit
Well, I
you
want
in,
to do like one time
ask
we should do like a
questions.
game show, like a game show type thing. But I was thinking like
Gee.
oh, just like more outside stuff. Maybe like a spring episode. We can go like a park or whatever and do the podcast at a park or whatever.
Picnic podcast.
Picnic podcast. Yeah, something like that.
Beach
Um,
episode.
Or a drinking
yeah, we
podcast. We
could.
did a late night drinking one.
Drinking?
Hell yeah.
Drinking.
Oh,
drinking will be
please.
funny.
I
Excuse
had-
me right now.
Why- yeah,
Drinking
yeah.
will be funny.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Wednesday.
Long ago.
Is Wednesday. 75% of the people in this room have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Friday, though.
speaking of
Friday
that,
is Easter.
I had like a friend back
For
then
me.
who also like they made a road and they had do you know the Vixen? Sweet.
Yeah, the Vixen.
not-
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Vixen, him and his friend Unicorn
Heard of them.
Jobs, they had like a Friday podcast called like F It Friday, and they would just like talk about whatever, and they're drinking and they get so fun and loud. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
cool.
really cool.
No, we could totally make that happen. We can make a drinking podcast happen. It
Oh
would
my
probably be
God.
best to have Ron and Jack's books on for that since you
Should
guys.
do
can-
yeah, let's do that.
Let's
Let's
go.
get that going.
But-
Friday.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Oh, I'd be down. Shoot.
we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It'd have to be like a double podcast week then. So like we'd have like a podcast on the Wednesday and then also on a Friday or something or
On the
Saturday
Friday.
or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we can make that happen. I want to take this time quickly to announce that we are moving the podcast show from my YouTube channel to a separate one that's going to be dedicated just for the podcasts. So if you guys are looking for those, I'll post. Well, it'll take me a while to upload all of them, but I will have them uploaded at some point. But yeah, just throwing that out there. But yeah, a drinking podcast. Good Lord Almighty.
fun.
I haven't
so
been drinking a
I
really
like a
long
real
time.
weird.
I haven't drinking
I
a
love
very
it.
very long time.
Sure.
Really?
Mm,
The good weird.
A good weird, yeah.
we'd have to do beer or something because I think it's hard liquor.
Just shots, right? Shots.
It's smashed.
It's gonna
The
be 30
Index
sec-
Podcast
30
Drunk
minutes.
Edition is what it would be called.
Mhm.
Drinking Edition. I can see that happen.
Mhm.
There's
No
this
shotcast.
there's this one podcast that I really enjoy watching. It's called it's not a podcast anymore. It was called the Drunk Tank Podcast. And they basically would drink every single time they had the show.
That's great.
And it was like a beer was always ready, so they just had everything. So we could totally experiment with that. I can see it happening.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be
super
cool.
fun.
What's the most you've ever been drunk before?
Blackout.
Isn't every weekend?
Yeah.
Every
I blacked
weekend.
out once.
Ron, I feel like there was like a period where like you would never drink, and then out of nowhere you just went like, boom! I'm drinking every weekend now. And it's like party, party, party every single weekend. We were talking about how we need to throw a party soon, right?
Our fault.
Mm-hmm.
We need to throw like a combined community party sometime soon, like a super fun one. I personally have more fun at parties that aren't that aren't lewd. You know, that's just how I feel. Like I like parties that are like really wholesome or just like good energy.
Just hanging and talking and drinking. That's
Right.
fun.
Yeah,
Just
like I like the, I
half-naked
don't know why I just
people,
enjoy
or-
those. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like what do you call it? Like stream friendly parties basically are the ones I enjoy the
Yeah,
most.
I mean, I always
they're
do
just
stream-friendly
I don't know.
parties, so-
The energy's so much nicer. My New Year's party was probably one of my like most favorite times. That was a really fun party. And I feel like I usually only throw parties though when there's like an event happening or some sort of like holiday or whatever. And Ron and I were talking about how like the next couple months are just like so stale. Like the next thing I can think of is like my birthday, which is like June 3rd, and it's like 2 months away.
Well, that's when you just like announce like, hey, we're partying.
Hey, we're partying for no reason. The no reason
Yeah.
party.
You
That's
have
what
to,
we'll call
like,
it.
just announce it.
No reason
it's
party
party
for
for no reason.
whatever. Yeah. That's
No
what
reason,
we'll have
reason
have
party.
happen.
Yeah, the no
No
reason
ERP.
party.
Yeah, that's good.
Party just because. Do you guys ever go to like IRL parties? I used to host IRL parties.
Used to, in like college and stuff, but like I don't really have anywhere to go now. So
Mhm.
LAN parties.
So good.
No, I'm just kidding.
LAN parties.
land
Good lord.
parties.
I have a lot of land
I used to,
parties, yeah.
God.
So my dad had like a basement that was like completely redone. We had like a little mini theater in there. We had a pool table, foosball, ping pong, like a bar, like all these things down in that basement. And my dad every June would go on vacation for like a week and a half, and my sister would always go with him. So I'd always have the house like all to myself. And I used to work at Six Flags at the time, and basically Six Flags, like we were all like people like 21 to like 16 years old. That was all like loved like being kids.
Yeah.
And I would use that time period to like throw a party every single like June and every single New Year's, because my dad would go for New Year's as well. And there was one time where I went out to a party store. I bought like 3 different blacklight fixtures, like 16 different blacklight bulbs, a fog machine, all this neon
Oh my
paint,
God.
a bunch
I
of
always wanted
neon
a fog
strips,
machine.
and like so the theme of the party was this was for my birthday of like 2016, I think it was. The theme of the party was like neon black lights, and my friend Tommy, who comes around chat sometimes every now and then, he still remembers it. But we basically like lined the whole ping pong table with like these LED strips and stuff, and like all the water, like I'd squeeze like highlighter fluid into the water for beer pong,
the fuck?
and the cups would glow under the black lights. I feel like theme parties are always more fun than just like regular parties when there's some sort of
That's
theme,
true.
right? Like,
One
it's
time-
just so much more enjoyable.
Bro, one time in VR, we did like this like cosplay party where like you use someone else's avatar, but like kind of like an off-brand version of it.
Oh my god, that's
And
so
it was,
good.
we just drank and we turned off nameplates, and it was so funny.
Wait, turning off nameplates. That's a
Yeah,
great
turn off
idea.
nameplates.
Nameplate.
Oh my
And
gosh.
just nobody knew who was who, and you're all drunk, and it was hilarious. Yeah, that was a really good
Oh,
time.
that's smart.
At one
Yeah.
point, we all cloned like Addie's avatar, I think, and then
And
we
just
were
ran
trying
around
to
as
guess
Addy the
who
whole
was
time.
who.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is so good. Yeah, I
It
like
was
parties
so
like that.
funny.
I like parties that have like some sort of like back end theme to it that can actually
Yeah.
like fit whatever, like whether it's like a holiday or whatever. It's just like so much more enjoyable. I don't know.
Hmm.
Being like a
There's,
not
all
big party
clone
person
Kuro.
either.
It's a Kuro only party.
A Kuro party.
There's like 20 of you
Oh my god.
just drunk and screaming.
Hey, I'm having a party on my birthday. June 3rd, we'll have a really big party. Do something super fun.
June 3. Okay, I'll be here. That's
June
cool.
3rd. Is that what you said?
Yeah, June 3rd. Another subathon. Another
Let's
who knows how long.
$1,000.
God. It like feels like I just finished too, and like it's already like in a month and a half away.
Are you doing
How
another
mu-
subathon? How
Yep.
long this time?
I want to do an uncapped subathon.
Who knows?
Can I
Who
just
knows?
subathon
Oh,
with you?
man.
We'll do a duo Jackson Kuro subathon.
Yeah, do a subathon.
Yes, please.
Oh my god.
Uncapped. Oh,
Kujak.
Yeah,
Just
uncapped.
kidding.
Yeah.
Uncapped.
No.
What the thing is, you can't.
Although that's kind of shitty.
I
'cause then,
hate
like, what if, like,
uncapped
then
subathons. I
people-
don't know why. I hate capped
Yeah.
subathons. The idea of an uncapped one, like that's the purpose, right? That's the whole point. It's like it's
Yeah.
uncapped. Like I feel
Yeah.
like it's like I don't know. It's so much more enjoyable. I feel like I know this other guy. He's a league streamer. His name's Rat IRL. He's been doing a sub uncapped one. He's been streaming for like I think he actually finished by now, but he was streaming for like 18 days too. Like that's insane.
But
I love
that's
challenge stuff. I don't know.
that's
Challenge
insane.
things are just that's always been something that I've been super driven to do. There was this map some while ago that Ron visited where like you put this stupid little yellow flower on like a plate of sushi that was on a conveyor belt, and I had this idea of doing that for 24 hours of like constantly putting this stupid flower on the sushi.
Yo,
I didn't know the
like
name of the map.
Like a 24-hour challenge.
Exactly.
I was thinking of those too.
Exactly.
Just do something monotonous for
I
like
do, exactly.
the longest time possible.
Exactly. Like I want to do
Those are
something
hilarious.
stupid.
I
Like
want
just
to do something really dumb.
right. I love that, and I never found the map again. I was gonna do it, but I literally never found the name of the
Oh
map.
my God.
I think
I would do that with you.
I would kill
search it.
to find that
Sign me
map.
up. If you ever
Um,
if you ever want to do anything crazy like that, just let me know.
Just really stupid for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I have so much time on my hands. I could do stupid stuff like this all the time, and I would totally go for it. I don't know. I have to like do more brainstorming for stupid ideas. Because it's those stupid monotonous things that are like the most fun challenges, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever find that map again, Ron. Freaking, you gotta hit me up because that's definitely something I want to do.
I was gonna say doing a duo subathon would be kind of lame though, because I feel like we'd be like sort of like because we have like somewhat similar viewership, so like
Sure.
I feel like people would be spending double kind of if they want to support both of us.
Right.
have
So
to
in
choose.
return, you'd
So it
have
would be
to
taking
increase
away
the time
from
period that
each-
you're actually like
Y-
doing.
I would
it.
it adds
Yeah.
to both you guys.
No, I
at
think
least
the same.
combined.
So I think so like Ron had some sort of thing going on before my subathon. I think he had the freaking pizzathon. So then I waited like a little bit longer. I don't know. I agree. I think a lot of people within communities share the
Mine
same
was in
audiences.
September. Mine was in September. I remember.
Right. Oh, September.
It's like far.
But I think a lot of
Like I
people
wouldn't want
share.
people to have to spend twice or like
Right. No, I
choose
agree.
or, like-
I agree. Yeah,
that's
for
kinda
sure.
lame.
I think it's all about like kind of when you like coordinate things with other people. I don't really do many like collaborative stuff. I really don't. The most like collaborative thing is usually like a dancing thing. Or like, okay, let's go do a cipher or whatever. If I'm hanging out with people on stream, like I usually just join, or they'll just like join. Like Ron will send like an invite request to join. I'll just be like, all right. And then if I don't feel like having him around, I'll just like decline it or whatever, and like vice versa.
Yeah, those are the
let's
best
do
kind of like hangout collab kind of things in VRChat.
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Spontaneous.
Because I feel like a lot of it comes into like etiquette. Have you ever had somebody like on your stream that like you're uncomfortable with like having there? It's like the worst feeling ever. I don't know why. It's like such an
yeah.
uncomfortable feeling, and I think like it takes time to like develop that like synergy with somebody, right? Like I know like if I accept Ron that it's not going to get too like weird or whatever, or like if I need to walk over and like talk to like chat or whatever, or if he needs to go talk to chat, like kind of understand like the barrier or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a mutual
That
understanding.
happens. Sure. And it's like different between
Usually-
everybody, right?
Like for me, if something becomes like overwhelming for me, I'm just like I'm gonna go like do my own thing. I'm gonna do like a little like solo stuff, just like by myself.
Solo
in
stuff.
chat.
Yeah, that the good
Yeah,
old
so-
word
yeah.
solo stuff.
Good old solo stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's usually how I get out of those kind of situations. So it's not like I'm like pointing out one specific person. Just like I'm gonna go.
What do you
Just
think?
keep my
I saw
corner.
this tweet the other day about I think it was from Socks about them mentioning how a lot of viewers that come into chat and just basically vent about all their problems in the entire world.
Oh,
How do you
Yeah.
feel about those people?
I usually just go like that's crazy.
That's
That sucks.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's wild.
I try to say
Yeah.
like one supportive thing, then I just like okay,
Yeah,
don't,
it's, like,
don't
really
talk about
Sure.
it, please. Go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't like ask for more information. It's just like that.
Like, yeah,
Pat,
you got
pat.
this. You're
You're here now. I'm usually like you're here now, and this is a comfy place. That's usually what I say.
So what about you, Sweet?
just ban him.
Oh man, I don't get
What do you
Yeah,
call
I
it?
don't
Like
know.
sympathy
I don't get
fishers?
people like
There's like a word for them. I don't know what you call them.
sympathy.
People who like are like fishing for some sort of like sympathy or empathy from people.
Attention whore.
Sure.
That's definitely a way. Yeah,
Attention
that's
whores.
something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, people looking for
Like,
some kind of like some kind of empathy or some kind of community, but then some people do it for the right reason, some people do it not. Like I feel like some people are sort of trollish or something.
Mm.
Maybe they're not aware of it,
yeah,
but
not
I
self-aware.
don't usually.
It's
Yeah, they're
really
not really self-aware.
yeah.
And that comes with maturity, I guess. Just
I
like,
think
yo, this is not the place.
I think for me it depends on who's saying it. Like if you come into my stream and
That's
that's like the
true.
very
Yeah.
first thing you tell me is like your dog died, and it's like yeah,
Then
that
you're gone,
sucks
yeah.
ass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
whatever,
get it. That
dude, yeah.
sucks ass. But how many people
Okay.
today have you told that your dog died, and last week, and tomorrow, and the week before? Then it becomes kind of like, all right, I don't know if this is the right place for you to be. But if it's somebody who's been around for like a while, like let's say like I don't know, like Bob Zoo one day came and was like my dog died, then it's like a different story, right?
Oh,
And it's to
yeah,
kind of sit down and talk about it.
I always
Trauma
wonder
dumping.
how
Thank you
people
about it. That's called trauma dumping.
trauma dumping.
That's
I
what
mean,
it's
like,
people
called.
get to stream.
Like people who are like homies or like regulars or whatever, definitely like.
Sure, it's like a
'cause they
different
already-
thing. Like even if you've
It's
been here a
different,
few
yeah.
times and then you're like, okay, something's wrong, right? It's a different story because like my stream's like a lot focused on like advice and mental health, right? And even I don't like people who trauma dump, right? Who just like kind of talk about every single thing that's happened to them in their entire life. And I think part of the reason why is because they want to feel accepted by a community, but they don't know how to reach the interaction point of sincerity with somebody. So the only way of doing that is by receiving sympathy from someone. And how do they get sympathy? By having some sort of tragic event having happened to them and expressing that that's how it happened. And I think a lot of people who lack those social skills of understanding how you grow a relationship resort to that kind of situation. I've talked about it many times about how so many people on VRChat lack basic social skills, which is why you get a lot of people who like don't stop messaging you when you haven't messaged them back in like 10 years. And that's why you get people who have sent... Ron's laughing because we share
God.
screenshots sometimes of
get-
people who do that. So,
People, man.
but
Oh,
even
God.
but even then, what I'm saying is that like these people who lack these social skills, it's not their fault. You know, it's not their fault they don't lack these social skills. It's something has impaired them at some point in their life to not be able to interact with people, whether it's they have
Yeah,
a mental
true.
issue.
Everyone has like different like upbringings and stuff.
Right,
and, like,
exactly.
perspectives, so,
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Um,
can't really blame them for not knowing, I guess.
And I think that it's unfortunate that streams are used a lot of the time for these people to try some of their socializing, because it's their only way of really talking to people because they know someone's going to answer them, right? And it's unfortunate because I feel like more could be done. I guess that's why I run my club, right? Where I have like the Friends Club. It's a place where people can try socializing. But my point still stands about there being so many people, not just on VRChat, but also on Twitch, who lack those social skills.
Yeah, you even get some. Like I know you have a lot of challenges with the No Friends Friends Club. 'Cause
Sure,
there are a lot
sure.
of
But
people
a lot of
with
those things
no
I take on the
social
chin because
skills.
it's part of the job. It's part of what I
Yeah.
kind of signed up for. So if I come
No,
to somebody
actually,
who
like
Sure.
with that, like you have like signed up for that kind of job.
I have,
so-
absolutely. That's why I never really complain about it. So like, I have a few people who suffer from autism in my club, who don't understand certain concepts or certain things, because of the way their brain works, or they don't know what it is they're doing is wrong or whatever. And again, that's part of the job. And having interaction that might be awkward is part of the job. But how else are they supposed to experience what it is to socialize or what it means with
Yeah, how
somebody
would
who's
they ever
willing
learn?
to understand that that's part of something they're
Yeah.
going through, right? But yeah, no, there's definitely struggles that I run into when it comes to the Friends Club for sure. And I am only just one person, so it does take a lot out of me sometimes. But I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it, right?
Have you ever told someone like, "Yo, this is not acceptable like behavior"? Like I know someone like Ozzy will mention that and be like, "Yo,
Sure.
This
No,
is
there have been a
inappropriate.
few times where I've raised my voice every now and then, but it's only usually like one particular person, and they understand
Okay.
fully when they're being too much. And
Wrong.
like I would anybody else, because I don't like treating people differently. Like I just don't. I think everyone should be treated the exact same way, no matter who you are, no matter what you suffer from or whatever. You should always be treated exactly the same. There should be no bias based off whatever it is you're going through. Just because if I was going through something, like if I had autism, I wouldn't want anyone to look at me any different, right? I would want to be treated like a completely normal person. So I try to give that person the same respect that I would anybody else. So I don't make exceptions. I treat them exactly how I would if somebody else were to like have acted out, right? Just because that is a way of how somebody can actually learn what it's like to be treated like a normal person, where other places that you go to, someone's like, can I help you? Can I hold your hand? Like, you need anything? Right? Or, like, I would feel ashamed. I would feel demoralized if somebody were to be like holding my hand through everything, right? I want to be treated like an adult. I want to be looked at as an adult and as like a normal functioning human being, not somebody with autism. I don't want it to be a label of me, right? So I try to make sure that when somebody comes into my class that's like that I treat them the exact same way, as anybody else that comes around. But yeah, it's obviously a topic I'm super passionate about. The Friends Club is something that's helped a lot of people grow their social skills, and get over certain shynesses and get over a lot of these things. A lot of these talent shows that I host, that is a lot of challenge for certain people that have. So there's a guy named Shattered in the club who has been using text-to-speech ever since he joined the club. Last week was his first time ever unmuting and not using text-to-speech, and he was talking to everybody in the club and talking, and he was singing. He sang a song on the stage at the talent show.
Oh my God.
Being somebody who's been mute the whole time. So things like that happen all the time in the club, and it's I don't like tooting my own horn, but I like to believe it's because of the Friends Club that people are able to overcome those moments and start to meet more people. And that's the whole purpose of the club. That's the whole reason why it's around and why we keep doing what we're doing. But yeah.
PR is like a really good space for that too, because like if you're like uncomfortable, you can just like
sure, exactly,
take that shit off,
exactly,
just go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And
you're not
it
like stuck in a physical situation.
That is a huge point where it comes to like how beneficial socializing in VR can be. Like if you have a problem, all you got to do is respawn and you go. And you're out. Yeah. You're out of that situation, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And you have
just block them. That's true.
Right, and you can do everything
you have
from
like lots of tools to like make yourself comfortable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish that VR was taken more seriously as like a teaching device.
I agree. I think that's why I try so like hard to be as professional as possible when it comes to the Friends Club, and why I treat it in such a professional way is because I want to be looked at as to be taken seriously,
Yeah, and plus, like as a streamer, like you're like not many.
We say this, and Ron's using a banana as a mustache. Ron's like the least serious person I know. Like actually.
Oh, freaking me, man! Lost my seriousness like years ago.
Are you saying, Jax?
Oh, just like as like a streamer, you're like on the front lines of like what like
publicity,
like,
industry
publicity.
People. Sure, right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so you're like a representative of like the VR space and like all that. So
yeah, I think that's why
it should be taken seriously.
A lot of us don't realize how much of an influence we have, like on a lot of things. I think Choto had mentioned before that like VR stuff is like just kicking off and whatnot, and how like this is like the very start of everything, even though it doesn't seem like it because we've been here for so long. Like we are only just starting. We're really only just starting on like the long scale look at things. And virtual classes are something has so much potential. Virtual teaching has an unbelievable amount of potential. You can't be in a classroom setting and then go to the pyramids of Giza or whatever the hell they're called, right? And explore each individual texture or whatever.
Let's go.
Whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah, right? You can't do that in your classroom. But you can in VR, and it's a picture or whatever. Yeah. But it's a 3D image.
You can literally go in the textbook and
exactly
explore it.
Where you have dimensions, where you could where visual learning becomes so much more prominent in virtual space, where visual learning is just like there's just so much unbelievable potential. And it's not just visual, but you can also do hands-on learning as well, where maybe you're not fully simulating, but you're still actually your eyes are reciprocating your actions as a human body, and that in turn would create the physical experience, like Phantom Sense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's again, you're right. It isn't taken as serious as I wish. I wish it was just seen in a much more practical way. And part of it is probably because we're big titty anime girls.
Big titty.
That
anime.
might be a reason.
I'm small. I'm flat, man. A cups. Where
That
the
would
A
be
cups
so
at?
cool. Like
Unreal
simulators
Engine
for,
3
like,
has a thing called MetaHuman, or sorry, Unreal Engine
Yeah.
5
Oh,
has
I
a thing
saw
called
that.
MetaHuman,
Unreal Engine 5,
which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
a human generating
Dude,
system.
Imagine using a metahuman as your
Dude,
avatar. It'd be so
It'd be
weird.
so weird.
With like face tracking and stuff.
And the thing is, like,
Ooh.
these don't look like regular NPCs. They look like real
They look real,
people.
yeah.
It is horrifyingly
Dude,
realistic.
I like this post on Twitter of like this realistic human animation like library thing.
Uh-huh.
It looked like a real like setting with like metahumans and like animations
Yeah.
that were like realistic people like doing stuff.
There
in, like,
is,
in, like,
it
the
is
Matrix
insane.
City.
Mhm.
Super weird.
I think
Like,
I think if
my God, I don't
that if maybe the key to VR universe space being taken a little more seriously isn't these, huge, billion-dollar companies putting their hands in, but maybe better engines and better,
Maybe, yeah.
models and stuff like that. Because I feel like if we were seen as metahuman from Unreal Engine
Yeah.
5, that maybe we'd be
Yeah.
taken a little more seriously.
Well, we
and more
definitely have a
definitely.
more mainstream appeal, yeah. 'Cause
Sure.
Right now it's pretty niche because it's
Sure.
like freaking like.
It's
using
pop culture.
graphics.
It's pop culture. It's
Yeah.
people who
Yeah,
like
pop culture,
anime, who
yeah.
like animated things, who like cartoons. I know so many adults who are instantly turned off by the idea of an animation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, we're
instantly,
not
like my
appealing to,
dad will
like,
not watch
families and
animated
shit.
movies. He hates animated movies just because it's seen as a
Boomer.
cartoon, right? It's just seen as a cartoon.
Boomer.
And the sucky part is that the boomers have the money to make these things move forward. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
unfortunate part.
You just have to wait until like the millennials and the Zoomers start taking
Yeah, wait till
over.
we get some money. Wait
Just
till
wait.
wait till XQC starts to create his own company.
Yeah.
Right? No,
They'll
I
just take over. The
Oh
boomers
my
be like,
god.
there is a lot of potential for growth, and it's exciting. It's exciting because we're like the pioneers, right? We're like the pioneers. We're on
Yeah,
like
we're the
literally like
pioneers,
the first boat into this whole world of like creating a better space for us in a virtual world.
yeah. Honestly, like you know how like XQC and like I don't know other like I don't know just other big streamers they've been streaming for so long that they just have become inherently popular by
Right.
now because they've just been with the platform for so long. If we just keep streaming VR for just years and years and like as it progresses, just keep like advocating for it and stuff,
Mhm.
like it's
Yes.
the same thing. Like we're literally at the start of all that VR stuff.
Right.
We don't even know it.
Right. And
Like,
and
absolutely.
I think like the potential is just really exciting to think about.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
there's,
really
like, so
exciting to
much
think about the
stuff
potential.
that's going to happen.
It's
We
a
don't even
little
know what it is.
interesting how we flocked though in a very, very, very sexual direction.
Hell yeah.
I think it's very funny
Yeah,
how
well.
sexual we've gotten with the
Yeah,
progression
I
of,
mean,
put
the
That's
virtual world.
technology.
put anybody and their mother
Yeah.
in like a big titty anime girl avatar. And
Sure,
that's probably what's gonna
sure.
happen,
It's like
so.
we are like driven off of our like testosterone and like pheromone levels. Like we're like, all right,
Oh,
Like,
speaking
oh my
of
god, I
that,
have like a
first,
fat ass
like-
now. I'm gonna take a picture of that.
I have
Yeah.
something relating to that. So I have like an old friend who's like Russian.
Uh-huh.
And we talked like years ago, and he had like a very thick accent and deep voice. And he joined me earlier today, and his voice was like so high pitched and changed. I was like, what the?
Wait,
I had something very similar happen
Oh
to
my
me
God.
too. I had something
Yeah.
very similar happen to me too. Where it's just like
my
it's just
God.
like you're someone just is like, what the? Who are you?
What the heck?
Full
Yeah.
femme city.
Sure, sure. We have to get wrapping up here in a little bit. But I want to thank Ron and Jax for coming on the show. Jax is basically like our
Hey.
third host at this point. He's been on 4 shows
Let's
now. So Jax,
go.
thank you for coming as always.
Let's
Ron,
go,
thank you for coming.
Jax.
We'll now start at the
They
ending
get
show.
paid.
So if you have any questions
They
for
can help,
anyone
like,
on the
cast.
show, you can go ahead and just
Yeah.
throw a question in. You can put in anybody you can say anybody's name and then just type out the question you want. I'm Kuro. That's Sweet, Jax, and Ron. Anything related to our lives, personal lives, opinions on things, feel free to throw a question up. just again, we're going to reiterate, if you are watching right now on YouTube, it's moving to a new channel. It's going to be called the Index Podcast YouTube channel, and that's going to be where just stuff from the Index Podcast is going to be loading on. If you are interested in coming on the show, I'm going to start opening up an application form. It's going to be a Google Doc. I'll probably have it released next show. I'll put a link in the chat where you can actually sign up to be on the show. Mainly looking for content creators right now, so content creators of any size. Understand that if you're on the show, we like to talk about personal things, like the debate, like talk about whatever. So if you are interested in coming on the show, you can put an application in and we can look at it and possibly set something up. The drunk episode, we can actually make happen. What do you guys want to set a date for that? We can actually do it. I'd be down.
This Friday.
No.
I'm kidding. Next Friday.
not this Friday. What about
Sheesh.
I can't if I did
month?
Fridays, it had to be
Maybe next
late. It
Friday?
had to be late on Fridays because I have the Friends Club at
Oops.
9:00. So if we did a Friday, it had to be like 10 p.m.
Oh, fudge. That's hella late.
Yeah, it's hella late for
Yeah.
you. So what
Then
about
maybe
what
like
about like
Saturday.
Saturday? What about like next Saturday, the 23rd, at
23rd?
at 8?
Something happening.
Yes.
I think me and Chota wanted to host a party.
On the
I'm not
23rd?
Sure.
The 30th?
No.
Yeah,
Party.
like,
What about the 30th?
No,
the
the
30th at
23rd.
8. What about the 30th at 8 then? For a drunk episode. Where we'll
Let's
set
get
up
it.
some sort of drinking game or whatnot, and we'll just drink, or maybe just
oh
like
my god.
we'll think of some
Yeah.
sort of drinking game or some sort of.
We
rule
should
or
go
whatnot.
do Uno. We're just
We
around
could
the
do-
table. We're
We'll do
just
say we'll do
talking,
something.
drinking.
We'll figure it out. But what do you think about we can set in stone so I can make like an announcement or something. The 30th at 8:00. That's the
30th,
last
I'm not gonna be
Saturday
here
of
on
this
30th.
month.
I'm not gonna be here.
You're not gonna be here.
What?
Shit.
Or
I'm not
yeah.
gonna be here. I'm going to Hawaii.
We can't do the
What?
7th because that's when the battle
Yeah.
is.
What?
Oh
It'd be
god,
like a
it's gonna be like a
month.
month out. Okay, maybe we'll just have to do
Okay.
a Friday, and I'll just have to like have someone else run the club meeting. How about the 22nd? Next Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Next Friday, the
Yeah, that
22nd
should be okay.
at 8:00, and I'll just have somebody else run the club
8.
meeting. All right,
So
cool.
8's Friday.
So next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, the 22nd. All right, we're setting it in stone. All right, questions. So why did you let Ron keep the banana? Because
Huh?
he's the most sexual out of all of us.
Who said that?
Question for the dancers. Sweet Heat used
Sure
the
about
word contrast to describe something, but could you use the word texture to describe dancing, and what would it be? Ron,
Oh.
you want to go first?
Huh?
Sweet Heat used the word contrast to describe something, but could you use the word texture to describe dancing, and what would it be?
I don't get it.
So what is texture,
Which-
basically, essentially?
Texture. Oh my god. I have no idea. I'm not good at- I'm not
That's
good
like
at
when
So
people
I,
ask,
I,
like,
got, I got a good
programming,
comparison.
like,
I got a really
Like,
good
texture is
comparison
like
for this.
the feel of the song, or
So-
like the dance, I guess.
Take an object, right? You have a square or a hexagon or a shape. That shape is the style of the
banana.
song, right? So it could be like crump, it could be hip hop, it could be, freaking like whacking or whatever, like some sort of style that's fitting the song. That is the shape of the object. The texture is whatever color you make that object. Whatever you put, whatever edges are on that, whatever the shape has as far as how it feels, what it looks like, that's texture in my opinion. And that's how dancing is to me. How you put your own colors on it and how you make it look, how you make it feel, if there's bumps on it, things like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Sweet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's. I think of like when you like feel something like a piece of wood, and then you feel like some ridges, or you feel like a porcupine, and it's all spiky and stuff, or something that's furry. Translating that into dance would be like maybe you vibrate with your hand or something like this,
Sure.
or you pop. Like popping dance is very like boom. It's very visual. So I guess that's the best way I can think. Or you're doing waves and stuff. It's very milky and flowy. And so if you're going to think of texture like that, maybe when you see someone doing different textures with their dancing, those are little intricate details that describe the movement. So yeah, very similar to contrast.
All right. Thank you, Bobsy, for the question. Question for Kuro. Why Bandaya? Someone Bandaya. Anyway, yeah, if you guys have any more questions, you can just put the person's name you want to ask the question. You can ask whatever you want. You can throw anything you want. It could be personal questions. It could be about ourselves and whatever. And then we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for being here on the show. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys had a good week. It was a fun one.
I'll send you my PayPal. Let's go.
All right, I'll send you your payment of 10 cents.
Let's get it. Thank you. I can eat tonight.
10 cents?
Yay.
You know, bananas are
Yeah,
like
it's
15
banana.
cents. I know bananas are actually so cheap. What? Why are they
What
so
the fuck?
cheap?
What the fuck?
I
This is
think it's
from
a
Void.
potato.
Ron, what are you doing to the banana?
Huh?
Void says, what are you doing to
I'm
the
playing with
banana?
the banana. I can make it enter.
You need
It doesn't
DPS.
go in.
He needs DPS.
It doesn't make it in.
Milky and flowy. Oh my god, Moxie. Good Lord
Milky
Almighty.
and flowy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like
who
what you
that?
said. You said
Yeah.
milky and flowy
Sorry.
when you were describing
it.
the freaking
I
dancing.
did.
If you guys
Well-
want to, by the way, I think Sweet's dancing after this. So if you want to check out his stream afterwards, I think he's gonna be streaming. All right. If we have no more questions, thank you guys so much for coming out to the show. Again, I'm Choreo.
Hey, I'm sweet.
I'm not.
People blackjack.
That's Jax.
No, it's not.
I'm Ron.
That's
I'm not
Jax.
Jax.
That's Ron.
I'm not Jax.
All right.
I'm-
Thank you guys so much for coming
I'm
out.
Ron.
We'll see you next time. Again, this will be uploaded onto the new YouTube next time. I don't know who we're gonna rate, but thank you guys again so much for coming in. Thank you for coming checking us out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Shh, 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 shh.